Have you ever been told, if you drop out of school, you'll ruin your life? Well, today we are going to talk about a man who did exactly that. And instead of ruining his life, he built an empire that changed the entire world. This is the real story of Bill Gates, a boy who dared to dream big, took crazy risks, and became one of the richest and most influential people on Earth. Bill Gates was born in Seattle, Washington in 1955. He wasn't born into poverty. His family was comfortable. But they weren't billionaires either. From an early age, Bill had an obsession, not with sports, not with parties, but with computers. Back in the 1960s, computers were the size of entire rooms and very few kids had access to them. But Bill's school had a special program that gave him a chance to code. And when other kids were outside playing baseball, Bill would spend hours, sometimes entire nights, in the computer lab. One day, Bill's teacher noticed something strange. Bill was skipping regular classes just to stay in the lab. He was so addicted to coding that he hacked into the school's scheduling system just to put himself in classes where there were more girls. Yes, even geniuses have their teenage moments. By the time Bill was 17, he had already built a small company with his best friend, Paul Allen. They called it Trafo Data, a business that analyzed traffic data for cities. The project made a little money, but more importantly, it taught Bill two things: how to solve real problems and how to turn an idea into a business. Then came Harvard. Bill was one of the smartest students there, but after just 2 years, something happened that would change everything. Paul Allen showed him an article about a new computer, the Altair 8800. It was revolutionary, and in that moment, Bill saw the future. He believed that every home, every office, would one day have a personal computer. Most people laughed at the idea. Computers were too big, too expensive, and too complicated, but Bill saw something the world didn't. Here comes the decision that shocked his family. Bill dropped out of Harvard. Imagine telling your parents, "Hey mom, dad, I'm leaving one of the best universities in the world and to start a tiny software company." Sounds crazy, right? But that tiny company, it was called Microsoft. In the beginning, Microsoft was just Bill, Paul, and a small team writing software for other companies. They worked day and night, sometimes sleeping under their desks. Bill was known to read entire programming manuals in one night and come back the next day with the solution. His obsession with detail and perfection was legendary, but success didn't come overnight. In the early years, Microsoft faced tough competition, financial struggles, and even lawsuits. There were moments when the company could have collapsed, but Bill's determination and his ability to see opportunities where others saw problems kept them alive. Then came the big break, a deal with IBM to provide the operating system for their first personal computer. Microsoft didn't even have an operating system ready at that time, but Bill promised one anyway. He bought an existing software, improved it, and named it MS-DOS. The deal made Microsoft a household name, and the rest was history. By the 1990s, Bill Gates was the richest man in the world. But here's something most people don't know. Bill never saw wealth as the end goal. For him, success was about creating something useful for people and making technology accessible to everyone. And that's why, even after becoming a billionaire, he worked tirelessly, pushing new innovations and improving software. Later in life, Bill shifted his focus. Along with his then-wife Melinda, he created the Bill Melinda Gates Foundation, one of the largest charitable organizations in the world. From eradicating diseases in Africa to improving education in poor countries, Bill decided to use his fortune to change lives. So, what can we learn from his journey? First, your vision matters more than other people's opinions. If Bill had listened to everyone who said stay in Harvard, Microsoft might never have existed. Second, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Bill was brilliant, yes, but he also worked harder than anyone else. And third, success is not the end. It's the beginning of making a difference. Bill Gates once said, "If you are born poor, it's not your mistake. But if you die poor, it's your mistake." So the next time someone tells you your dream is too crazy, remember this story. Remember the boy who dropped out of Harvard and built a company that changed the way the world works, learns, and lives. This is A1 Rise Fuel, and this was the real story of Bill Gates, the dropout who became a billionaire. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and share it with someone who needs motivation today.